Hi, my review is on the movie 300, Rise of an Empire, and starring Sullivan Stapleton and Eva Green. And I have a little summary of the movie here. Kind of explains you a little bit about it. Greek general Themistocles leads the charge against invading Persian forces led by mortal turned god Xerxes and Artemisia. I think that's how her name's pronounced. These Greek names are kind of hard to pronounce. Vengeful commander of Persian Navy. And the movie was pretty good. I mean, I thought it was good. I thought it was a good action movie. Very graphic. There's a lot of killing in this movie, a lot of bloodshed and slicing and dicing and limbs and heads getting cut off. But that's expected in the movie with sword fights and axes and movies of this magnitude and there's some graphic stuff in it, some graphic gore, and there's some other graphic stuff in it. Certainly not the kind of movie that you'd want to take a kid to see. Of course, you can't take them to this movie because I believe it's rated R. So you can't really go. Can't take a kid to it. But it's a good action movie. It takes place mostly on the high seas. The first movie, 300, took place on land, but the battles in this movie take place on the open seas. Because like the ships, what they do is they collide with each other. They crash and they collide with each other, and then all the soldiers from the Persian army and the Greek army, the Spartans, they just charge each other on the ships, and sword fights and killing and all that. It was basically more of a naval movie as far as that time and period goes. It was more of a naval battle than it was. The last movie was more of a land army battle. This was more of a naval battle with sword fights and all that. So, but it was a good movie. I think the action was really good. There are in a movie with axes and swords, expect some limbs and heads to be cut off. It's expected in these kinds of movies with that stuff. But there was a scene that where how do I pronounce her name? Artemisia, the villain, one of the villains, this woman villain. There was a scene where she cuts this guy's head off, and then she picks his head up by his hair, and then she starts French kissing his head, in his mouth. It's some of that stuff's pretty gory, but I guess that's how people fought back during the days of ancient Greece, I guess. But it's a good movie, and like I said, a lot of it takes place on the open seas, sword fights and all that, and yeah, it's pretty good. I would go through more of the story if I could, but I don't want to spoil it for anybody. But I didn't like though how the movie ended, because it really didn't show who won the last battle in the movie. So this is kind of a spoiler, but it's not really. They didn't show who won that last battle. I'm presuming that the Greeks won it because they had a larger army or a larger navy at that situation where they were fighting the Persians, and it looked like the Greeks were probably going to win that battle, but they didn't show the rest of that battle. I would have liked to have seen the conclusion of that battle, but maybe they're saving that for the third movie. Because there's probably going to be a third. There's probably going to be a third 300 movie, so they'll probably they'll be showing that battle again and the aftermath of it. But yeah, 300 Rise of an Empire, I would recommend it. If you're somebody who doesn't like gory, blood and legs and arms being cut off and it's not your walking. It's not your typical movie, if that's, but it is a good movie. It is action packed, a lot of fighting, and I think it's probably a little bit, well, I don't know. I still like the first 300 movie better, but I thought this one was pretty good. And the special effects were good, like usual. The sword fights, the action scenes, the sound, and I saw it in 3D, IMAX 3D, and that was pretty darn good. I mean, I'm not a 3D fan. I've always said that in 3D movies, I know I don't like wearing 3D glasses because it tints the movie. It's kind of like watching a movie in a theater with sunglasses because it kind of tints the movie a little bit. But I went to a later showing, and the only one that worked with my schedule or my time was I went to a kind of a later night, Sunday night one, and so the only one I could get was the IMAX with 3D, and that worked for. It was expensive, but I went and saw it, and I enjoyed it. So I was kind of forced to watch 3D anyway because that was the only showing I could make. But it was good. It was a good movie, and if you like 300, you like these ancient kind of movies with sword fights, and it's your tip. It's a good movie, as far as. But yeah, I would recommend it if you like those kind of movies. But yeah, I would say I would give this movie a B plus, a thumbs up. Definitely got it is a good movie. But maybe I like the first one a little bit better. But I don't know, they're pretty close. But this is more of a naval battle type movie, and that's my review. And everybody, take care, and see you until the next one. All right, take care, everybody.